Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name, of course, is Kanka The Great, coming at you with another YouTube worthy video. This video is going to be short and sweet because I've seen a lot of long, boring build videos where the guy is just going on and on about his build and how he's so good. It's not going to be one of those kinds of videos. I'm going to give you the whole build in at least 5 minutes or less. So basically what this build does is it's very tanky DPS, and I've experimented with it so many times, it's unimaginable. I'll give you some background knowledge on this build before I get started. Number one, I used to run sword shield, but it really wasn't. It was really inconsistent. Number one, the burst skill. Number three, if you hit it and what the person evades, when you evade, you can evade at least 3 attacks max, and then you get hit with something. But it seems like if they evade, the damage just disappears and the swords just go away and it doesn't hit them anymore. And it seems that the 600 range, quote unquote 600 range, it seems really short. Like if they evade backwards and then I hit my skill, it's like 300 range, and then the swords just disappear into thin air. So that's a problem I really had. The number 2 skill is it's a blind, and then if you got it traded, it's 3 stacks of vulnerability, and then on top of that it's a teleport. Now that seems overpowered, but the skill only hits for like 157, and that's really low damage, and I'm looking for DPS. And the shield, oh my goodness, don't even get me started about the shield. If you're dueling a warrior, your shield skill probably isn't gonna work, because he's probably got last stand, or he's already popped his stability, and it doesn't work. So what I like to do is I go into the fight, I use the focus skill, that's 3 blocks, so that's 3 seconds of burning because I have it feeded, plus your passive Aegis, which is another burning, plus when the Aegis gets removed you get 3 seconds of retaliation. So you haven't even attacked him yet, and you've taken little slivers of health away. And then I use my Aegis to get another block, so that's 5 blocks, guys. That's 5 blocks, plus you have your evades. Now with this build, I have it feeded to where every time you get a critical hit, you gain vigor. So I basically spam my dodge rolls, because I don't really spam them, but I try to time them when they burst, but which I recommend you do, but I try to spam it as much as possible. So basically the rotation of this build is you go in, you have a passive Aegis, that's 1 block. You pop your Aegis, that's 2 blocks. You pop your 5 skill, that's 3 more blocks. So you've blocked 5 attacks, and you've burnt for 5 seconds. And then I use my scepter. I like to auto attack first, just a little bit, and then I use my number 4 skill to blind and apply vulnerability. Then I use my immobilize, and then I use my number 2 skill. I instantly switch. I lay down my light field. I use my number 5 skill, but I don't use it right away. It's a thing that really kind of irritates me on bad Guardians, is I use their number 5, and then they'll instantly use it. You have 10 seconds to use that, and every time a second goes by, it does more and more damage on your opponent. So I use the 5 skill, and then I use my 3 skill for the charge, for the blind, and it gives area retaliation. So after I do that, I yank the 5 skill, pulls him towards me, knocks him down, interrupts whatever they were doing, and then I just soaks up all the DPS. And normally by that time, if you've done everything right, they're basically dead. And I like to time my judge's intervention so that when I do use it, I don't like to use it right away into a fight. I like to use it when they're like half health, or they're just about to die, and all your cooldowns are gone, and you're trying to auto attack them down, and you need that little bit to just and get a finisher. So that's what I like to use it for. But it is a very good opener, but I would recommend it more as a finisher, because it's 1200 range and it burns for like 7 seconds, I think it is, and that's very good for finishing somebody when all your cooldowns are gone and you just need that little bit of health to kill them. hello. Now that we have gotten all of the strategy and the rotations out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and go through the traits. I spec 30-10-30. I used to be 30-10-10-10 because I try to get all the little things that count. In Radiance, I would get gain 3 seconds of retaliation when using healing skill. And the reason this is when all my cooldowns are down, and normally that's when I use my heal because I'm normally hovering around half health. That's when I'll go ahead and use my heal. And then when you have 3 seconds of retaliation, you're still in the fight somehow. Every time you get hit, you do like 200 damage. So you're not just letting him get away with you using your healing skills. You hit him every time. And then the 10 in Valor would be for the 100% chance to burn attackers, because we have like 7 or 8 blocks that we can get in one fight. And then for Honor, I used to rock Agis heals on removal, or whichever way you want. If you're going more tanky, you use that one, and if you want more DPS, I'd go with Wrathful Spirit, which gives it retail when Agis ends, and that's, I think I can use like 4 Agises, so that's what, 4 times 3, that's 12, so it's 12 seconds of retaliation in a fight. But my 30-10-30 spec is for adepts. I went with Fiery Wrath, increases damage by 10% against burning foes. That's kind of self-explanatory. You know, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks in one fight. That's what, 7 seconds of burning for free. Plus you get to block his skill. Plus if it's in Agis, which I'm gonna go ahead and go over to this next one, Master. Shattered Agis. Basically, when Agis is removed, it burns. So I have 4 Agises for each fight. So that's a burn for blocking, and that's a burn for getting removed. So that's 2 seconds of burning for each one. That's 8 seconds of burning altogether. And plus, for each burn that goes off, I'm getting 10% extra damage. And then for Grandmaster, which is the obvious choice, Zealous Blade. Every time you attack, you deal an extra 5% damage, and it heals you. And for Radiance, I use gain 3 seconds of retaliation when you use a healing skill. The reason I chose this is, number one, I mean, everything else is kind of crappy, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't work with the build. I used to use apply blind when you use apply 3 stacks of vulnerability when you use blind. And the reason that is, I used to be sword focus, and I could get 6 stacks of vulnerability before I switch, but that didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, because of the errors that I mentioned earlier. And in Valor, I use for Adept, I use Defender's Flame, gain 100% chance to burn attackers. That's super overpowered in my opinion, because I have runes for it and a Guardian can feat for it, so I find that to be very overpowered. Master, 5% of toughness is given as a bonus to precision, just a little bit more DPS, a little bit more critical chance, and yeah, you know, all the other skills just kind of sucked. And Grandmaster, applying a boon heals you. The reason I chose that over Purity is, number one, when you use a healing skill, you get whatever the random Lisa rune is, so that's 89 health. Plus you get whatever the, you get your Agis, which is another 89 health. And then when you use your elite skill, you get all boons, so you get like 700 health from that. And I really wanted this to be a strong tanky DPS type of build, so that's the reason I used that. That has been the full duration of my Guardian tanky DPS build. Please like, rate, and subscribe. And if you see any flaws in my game, please hit me up with your suggestions. And please be friendly. And YouTube, we'll see you later.